plan. Each product level, that is product line, the brand, must develop a marketing plan for achieving its goals. Now, one of the important function of the marketing department is to have a marketing plan as a ready reckoner. The marketing plan is one of the most important outputs of the marketing process. But what exactly is the meaning of this marketing plan? What all it should contain? Just we will have a look at it. It is also a blueprint of action. What is to be done, when it is to be done, how it is to be done, who is to do it. The question of all these answers are explained through this marketing plan. Now, the first and foremost content or the component of this marketing plan is the executive summary. Executive summary and the table of contents. The marketing plan should open with a brief summary of plan's main goals and recommendations. Now, this executive summary allows the senior management to have an overview of what all is included in this plan. It helps the senior management to grasp the plan's major thrust. Now here, if suppose the company is planning to launch a new product, so this executive summary should have a brief background of the market trend or the situation, like what is the potentiality of this product which is going to be launched, who are the competitors, what would be the pricing, what is the demand for the new product, and the trends of demand. So here, with a very short summary, it should be able to reflect the picture, so that if anybody goes through the executive summary, they understand which would be the market, geographical markets, who are the competitors, what is the positioning and targeting of the product, etc. The next is the current situation and trends. Now, this section, it should present the relevant background data on sales. So one should be able to understand what is the sales figure previously and current, whether it has over the time increased, whether it has decreased, or it is constant. Similarly, on the cost, the profits, the market, the competitors, the distribution, and the macro environment. Suppose in a particular geographic location, if the sales are decreasing day by day, what might be the reason? Whether it's because of the competitor pricing, whether it's because a localite is preferred more. So here, the detailed analysis of the macro environment should be presented. Here, the data are drawn from a product fact book maintained by the product manager. Every product manager has the responsibility to manage their product lines and the product portfolio. So here this manager every now and then keeps an eye on the performance of that particular product. into in which area how the product is performing, whether it is up to the mark, whether the things are under control. If the things are not under control, what is to be done? So this current marketing situation will help the company to understand the level where the product performance stands. Similarly, the performance review. Now here, in the performance review, the company takes into account the overall performance of the company, the overall performance of the particular product. So here they analyze the product portfolio. Product portfolio analysis is done by the managers. Suppose if a particular product is performing very well as compared to this, the other product is not performing well. So here, why that product is not performing well? What are the reasons? That is investigated. Now, unless and until you have certain plans, you cannot move ahead. If there are any opportunities, then that should be identified. If there are any threats, so in advance they should be identified so that the managers, top management can take the situation into consideration and come up with some alternative ideas. Now here there are certain key issues. Suppose if in the product itself there are some changes to be made, maybe to change the product design. If the product has reached the optimum level, that is they are into the maturing markets, whether to come up or introduce a new flanker product here, that becomes a key issue. Whether to change if the product performance is not well, if it is into the declining market, whether to change the face of this product, existing product, maybe with the change in the packaging or through promotion, whether there are certain threats in respect to government rules and regulations, maybe environmental concerns are there. So in this case, the top management has to take certain decisions. They have to be action oriented here. They have to come up with certain measures here. Now, objectives defines the plan's financial and marketing goals in terms of sales, volume, market share and profit. So here when we take into consideration the planning, marketing plan, the first and foremost thing which comes into our mind is the sales volume. To penetrate into the market, to enter into the market, to expand the market means we are increasing the sales volume. Now, when the sales volume is increased, then naturally the profits also rise slowly and steadily. And the market share also start rising. The value of the market share also starts rising. So here, what is the objective of the company? Whether to gain more profits, in that case they may go for a skimming strategy or penetration strategy by just slashing down the prices and penetrate into the market and earn profits. Similarly, sales volume, if they want to increase the sales volume, then they can think of some promotional strategy. Maybe if it is a short term goal, some discounts to be given to the customer. In that case, they can think of increasing the sales volume. Now, when it comes to market share, the goodwill, the reputation matters more. the satisfaction of the customers, the loyalty of the customers plays a very major role. Now, here it depends upon the objectives, marketing objectives of the company, what action plans or marketing strategies they should plan. So, this leads to the next point, that is marketing strategy. This marketing strategy presents the broad marketing approach that will be used to achieve the plans or objectives. Now, if a company thinks of aggressive promotion strategy to penetrate into the market, if they want to enter into a market where they come up with the strategy of decreasing the price and expanding the market share. In that case, decreasing the price is fine, but whether decreasing the price will benefit the company, whether really it would be able to penetrate into the market at a faster pace, what would be the promotional strategies for this? Now, only reducing the price will not be the solution, but the awareness about this should be created among customers also. So that is what is the marketing strategy. Suppose if the company wants to maintain the price but still earn the profits. Now, here in this case, again, it has to promote the product on the technical terms or on the terms of quality. Then only the people will buy the product. Unless and until the customers are not sure about the performance of the product or about the technology of the product, people are not going to purchase the product at the price offered by the company. So here, exactly what is the objective of the company? What is the plan of the company? Based upon that, the company frames the marketing strategy. That is the action program, implementation, framing of the uh, plans, how it has to be achieved, what strategy is to be considered. The next is the action plans. Now, once the company comes up with the strategies that this is the way we are going to achieve the objectives, then the actual process starts. This presents the special marketing programs designed to achieve the business objectives. Suppose creating the awareness is only the objective, then initial stage would be just making the people, the masses, the customer aware of the existence of this product. So here the focus would only be on influencing the customers to actually once purchase the product. Or in case of retaining the customers, the repetitive advertisements or the promotional offers could be the agenda. So exactly how through this marketing mix programs one is going to achieve the objectives, that is action plans here or action programs, that is considered in action programs or action plans. Projected profit and loss statement. Now, action plan allows the product manager to build a supporting budget. Now, when you are planning, the finance department is going to ask for the budget. Suppose if you have certain objective and you want to slash the prices and enter the market through promotion, so what would be the budget? On the revenue side, this budget shows the forecasted sales volume in units and the average price. And on the expense side, it shows the cost of production, physical distribution, and marketing. It's broken down into finer categories. Now, here the difference between revenue and sales is projected profit. So, the budget allocation is very important here. Once approved, the budget is the basis for developing plans and schedules for material procurement, production scheduling, employee recruitment, and marketing operations. So, unless and until the finance department has sanctioned the budget, one cannot go ahead with the plans. So this is about the projected profit and loss statements. Controls. Now this section deals with controlling the marketing plan. It outlines the market plan for monitoring it. Typically, the goals and budget are spelled out each month or for just one quarter. Now, senior management takes the review of the results and makes an analysis. Some control sections include contingency plans also. So here controlling also plays a very important part. Suppose uh, the action plan is implemented. Maybe you forecast certain sales volume, and if you come across the picture that you are not able to achieve the objectives, then the analysis is done, the review is taken, why the things are not according to the plans, and they are remolded. Many a times it depends upon the time frame also. What is the time frame? Now many a times it gives rise to this contingency plan also. That is the immediate action. Contingency plan outlines the steps management would take in response to specific adverse developments. Suppose if there are cyclones, if there are strikes by employees. So, in such cases where the things are unpredictable or where they do not have the control, in this case, the management comes up with certain contingency plans. So, again, one has to remold the plan and go through the entire process. Now, this is about the marketing plan. Now, this is the next part, that is the marketing audit. Now, here, what is the marketing audit? It is a tool for periodic assessment of marketing performance. So, here, whether the marketing functions are properly carried out or not, whether the things are on place or not. To understand this, one has to measure the performance of this marketing department. Hence, it is known as the marketing audit. While marketing performance measurement systems are essential, it is sometimes useful to step and take a longer view of the marketing performance of a strategic business unit or of the entire company by using the marketing audit. Now, marketing audit may be restricted to a strategic business unit, a single firm, or maybe the entire company. Now, they are broader in scope. So, this marketing audit is much broader in scope and cover long time horizons as compared to sales and profitability analysis. Now, here, if you consider the sales and profitability analysis, it is restricted to only that core part. But when it comes to audit, it includes all the areas of marketing. When specifically we are speaking about marketing audit, here It takes into consideration the functioning of all the departments of marketing. Now, what are the departments of marketing?
Social media marketing.
Social media marketing. So, can we say it's regarding the promotional part? In promotion, you gave one hint, that is social media marketing. Apart from this, sales department, isn't it?
Yes.
Advertising department, marketing research department. So here, this audit takes care of individual different functional areas of the, in totality, the marketing uh, functioning. As many companies are coming up with a variety of products, as companies are diversifying into new product lines, new businesses, this marketing audit is becoming much more popular today. These strategic business units, they differ in market orientation. So this marketing audit help them to keep a check on the performance measurement of this individual functioning, and hence they are becoming popular. The marketing audit is a control and planning activity, as it takes a review or performance measurement of the marketing efforts by the company or by a single strategic business unit. It's keep a control on the planning activities and on the review of what the things are happening, how they are moving ahead. Now, this marketing audit, it may be restricted to a single firm, single organization. It may be expanded to the strategic business units, different business units. A single product line can also be treated as a strategic business unit, or as a profit center, or for the entire company also the marketing audit can take place. So here, that's why we say the scope is much more broader for this marketing audit function. Now, if we take into consideration the types of audits, the audits are normally conducted for areas such as strategic business units, marketing environment, objectives and strategy, planning and control systems, organization productivity, and individual marketing activities such as sales and advertising. Now, if we consider the marketing environment audit, it requires the analysis of the firm, as every now and then the organization is functioning under the influence of macro environmental components. The organization is coping up with this changing environmental components. Now, the trends and market, the ongoing trends in the market, how they affect the firms in terms of customers, in terms of competitors, the strategies of the competitors, the moves of the competitors, the preference of the customers, the channel intermediaries, the suppliers. So, all of these factors are acting on the organization. So, marketing environmental audit gives the total picture about the functioning of marketing in this ever changing environmental factors. And a firm or the company has to react to it. Suppose if they don't react, then their sustainability would be a major issue here. So, inverse reaction is always expected from the organizations or the companies. The managers, they have to be on the toes to come up with the strategies. Now, the next part is objectives and strategy audit. Now, the companies have their objectives. Now, assessment of how appropriate these internal factors are given current major environmental trends or any changes in firm's resources. Now, company frames the objectives and comes up with certain strategies. So here, suppose the objective is to gain 20% market share in this financial year. They come up with the strategies. But if there are certain changes, like the competitor reduces the price of the products, then after the review and the performance, manager can just brief the top management about the pricing strategy of the competitors. Here, the firm can think of changing the objective or changing the strategy to achieve the objective. The next is unit planning and control system audit. Now, with this deals with the firm's product market entry action plans and control and reappraisal procedure. Now, here, when the company enters the market, so here, when the company or the organization positions and targets the product in the market, how does the product perform? Its appraisal is evaluated, especially when the product is into the new market or the new product is launched in the market. How does the customers, how do the customers they react to it? So here, a particular unit, a particular product is taken into account and planning and control systems are developed. The audit of this is taken into account. The organization audit. Organization audit deals with the overall structure. Now, marketing department has to work, has to function in collaboration with other departments, like we discussed about the financial budget for advertising or for promotion. Similarly, demand forecasting has to integrate their functions with the production department. So, their integration, collaboration, all the departments should have collaborative approach. The sales, within the marketing department itself, the advertising, marketing research, sales, the merchandising, all of them should come together and frame the strategies. The exchange of ideas will give scope and better upper hand to function in a efficient way. So this organization audit is with reference to overall structure or overall frame of the organization. The marketing functions audit, that is the in-depth analysis of marketing mix elements. The product, the type of product, the product line objectives, whether the products are diversified or they are in line with each other. What are the individual product needs, preferences, whether there is scope for new product development here. What about the pricing strategies of the company with reference to competitors with respect to ongoing marketing trends? The price elasticity. is considered here. In case of distribution channel, the coverage, the cost efficiency, the sales force required, the training, upgrading the sales force, motivating the sales force, what would be the promotional strategies, all are evaluated. These marketing functions are evaluated in this audit here. Company's ethical audit. So here, these in this current situation, in the present scenario, this company's ethical audit or social audit is gaining much more impetus. What measures does the company take in case of ethical and socially responsible marketing? Is the new area which is stressed upon. Now, here, an organization or a firm is answerable to the society or it exists because of the society. Hence, they should contribute to the society and market the products in the well-being of the society. That is what is expected. So, ethical audit is carried out here. Product manager audit. Now, here, the performance of the product managers are evaluated over a period of time. How the managers are channelizing their efforts, whether the managers are have the keen observation or the review process for the performance of the product is checked here. If the manager wants to come up with a new product, what is the positioning strategy of the manager? What is the portfolio, product portfolio of the company? Where does it stand? Whether the manager is aware of performance appraisal of the individual product in different areas, whether they are performing well. All this is looked upon in this product manager audit. So this is about the marketing audit. In this marketing audit, having taken into consideration all these aspects, keeps a check. It is That's why it's a very important tool to measure the performance of the strategic business units. Now, we start with the next important part, that is now here the first chapter. Okay, it was the overview of the total in totality how the marketing strategies are framed. Now the next part is measuring market opportunities. So in the previous chapter we had that point of market opportunities. So here market forecasting is one of the very important aspect of tapping the markets or channelizing the market opportunities. Now here this part includes the market forecasting based on current demand, forecasting based on the past demand, forecasting through experts, forecasting through intentions and expert opinion about the market knowledge systems, the market intelligence, market database. So basically, when the companies find the market very attractive, They try to estimate the current size and potential of the market. One cannot think of entering a new market with the existing product blindly or with the new product in the existing market blindly. They should have to have the proper estimation of the current size and the future potential for the product. Now, to develop effective target strategies and to manage their marketing efforts effectively and efficiently, companies must be good at measuring current market demand and forecasting future demand. Now, here, what is a market? It's a set of all actual and potential buyers of a product or a service. Now, here, usually say market is a place where a set of buyers and a set of sellers they come together to exchange. The size of market hinges on the number of buyers who might exist for a particular market offer. The potential market is the set of consumers who profess a sufficient level of interest in the market offer. Now, you might have noticed today, because of the competition, suppose you might have just inquired about the product, maybe any of the product or services, you start getting the SMS or you start getting the calls from the particular firm that maybe you had inquired with us about so and so product. What happened? Whether you want to purchase or avail the services. So here, what they are doing here, they just want to know what is the potential market. Now here, the consumer interest is not enough to define a market. The potential consumers should also have the affordability, that is the enough income, and must have access to the product offer. Now, the available market is the set of consumers who have interest, income, and access to a particular offer. The target market, also called the serve market, is a part of the qualified variable markets the company decides to pursue. And coming to the market demand, what is the demand? Hello, Mahal, Karan,
Yes, ma'am.
what is demand?
Increase of uh, demand.
Hello,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Uh, so the first and important thing is that when the customer needs the product, when it is supported by the financial aspect, that is, suppose a customer wants to purchase a product, okay, he has inquired, but he has no money to purchase, then we cannot say it's a market demand. So when this urge is supported by the income part, then only we say it's a demand, the affordability part. Now here, in case of demand, there should be willingness from the customers plus the ability to purchase the product. So market demand for a product, it's the total volume that would be bought by a defined customer in the particular defined area under the specific marketing program. Now, what is then market forecast? Only one level of industry marketing expenditure which actually occurred. The market demand corresponding to level is called as its forecast. Now, market potential is the limit approached by market demand as industry marketing expenditures approach infinitely for a given marketing environment. So here the possibility of the customers in future purchasing the product is the market forecast. Now when we define this market, okay, it may be with reference to that particular geographic location with respect to that particular product scenario. Market does not mean it is only the geographical restriction or the geographical area. So this is very important thing here. Now here one can take into consideration the forecasting with reference to sales, that is the company sales forecast. It is expected level of company sales based on a chosen marketing plan and an assumed marketing environment. In the current scenario of marketing environment and the marketing plan, what would be the sales forecast? How would be the sales? That is, they would be constant, they would rise, they would slow down. That is the sales forecasting. Now, industry demand forecast, it's based upon the industry in totality. And company sales forecast, it's with reference to that particular company or particular organization for specific organization. Now, here there are certain methods in terms of forecasting, how the companies go for this forecasting. Companies usually take into consideration the environmental forecast, the industry forecast, and the company forecast into account. Now, when we take the environmental forecasting, it calls for projecting the inflation, those factors like inflation, unemployment, interest rates, consumer spending, their disposable income, their savings, business investments, government expenditure. All these things come into consideration. Now, basically, when the company thinks of forecasting, it takes into consideration the questions like what is there, why it has happened, what happens, when or what the people will think. So these are some of the questions which the companies take into consideration. Now here, based on the current demand, the method is the market build-up method. Now here in this market build-up method, this method identifies all the potential buyers in each market and estimate their potential purchases. So here again, as rightly I said, the market may have its own definition, maybe with reference to a particular geographical area or with respect to that particular product. So here, this method identifies the potential buyers who will be purchasing and estimates their potential purchases. Now here, one can take into consideration the methods like Looking at the history, what is the trend of purchase of a particular customer, whether frequently he purchases the product, whether fortnightly, whether monthly, once in a 2 months, 3 months, like that. So that is trend is identified here by having a look at the history. Next thing about the performance from the maybe your intermediary like retailer, distributor, they give you the picture of the performance of the product. Now here suppose a company, a cosmetic company wants to estimate the total sales for its cosmetic range. In that case, the market demand is established as follows, like Q is equal to N into P into small q, where Q is the total market demand. So you are establishing the market demand. N is the number of buyers in the market. Maybe if you are considering a specific geographic location, what would be the number of buyers in this market? The number of buyers. Okay. Q is the quantity purchased by them. So by an average buyer per year. So per year, a particular customer on an average, okay, purchases so much quantity of that product. And P is the price of average unit. Now this method will give the total market demand. This method is very simple. There are no complications in calculating. Now only the limitation is collection of data. It has to be rigorous and accurate. One has to collect the data maybe from the intermediaries or from the customers. If the data is accurate, if the information collected is accurate, then we can say that this method is up to the mark. That it gives you the clear picture in totality. The next is chain ratios. We'll see this later, market factor index method. Now, marketers will usually want to estimate three aspects of current market demand, that is total market demand, area market demand, and actual sales and market share. This is what the areas into which these marketers are interested. Now, estimating the total market demand, it's the total volume for a product that would be defined by a particular consumer group, defined with reference to geographical area, defined with respect to time period and marketing environment, defined level of mix of industry. For example, next year's sales for any product will depend upon how much the makers of this particular product spend on marketing of that product. It will depend on many environmental factors also, like the competitors, the taste and preference of customers. Now, it is usually observed that greater the marketing efforts and expenditures, more it would yield higher levels of demand. So it pushes the demand. That's why companies spend huge amount on advertising. It is believed that advertising is directly correlated to sales. So here it is expected that marketing efforts will push the demand to certain level. But after this level, it reaches a saturation point. And even though you increase the advertising, the promotions, the sales will not pick up after this point. This is known as the upper limit of market demand, which is called as the market potential. That is maximum this much would be the sales expected from a particular area. Now, Companies selling in mature markets, that is non-expandable markets, often take primary demand. That is the total demand for all brands of a given product or a service. They concentrate on their brand instead of focusing on many of the brands together. They just think of concentrating on a single brand and moving ahead. Now the next part we will continue because I won't be able to finish the point. Maybe in the next session we will continue with the other methods. Today we will stop here. At 10:30 today you have a session marketing 4.0. I want all the students to join for this session. Okay. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Maheshwari. What about others? Okay.